Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we're going to look at some tanks today. These are Guerrilla bottles, or really, I guess I shouldn't call them Guerrilla bottles. They're First Strike bottles. So these are all of the aluminum cylinders that they do, and they've got, I don't know, 8 of them here? Yeah, 8 cylinders. We've got a 13 cubic inch, and these are all 3,000 PSI bottles, so that's going to be the same throughout. 13 cubic inch, and then a 26 cubic inch, and then a 30.5, I believe. 30.5, and then a 38, and a 48. Then we have a 48 Hero. So the 48 bottle is rounded bottom, rounded top. It looks more like a compressed air bottle than a aluminum bottle. And I think they're going for more of a look. And they're also able to just kind of shorten the bottle and squat it down so it's not quite so long. So that's right here. So these two bottles, capacity-wise, are the same. Just different, very different shapes between the two of them. And then we have a 62 cubic inch, and then another 62 cubic inch. And again, different shape bottle is going to give us the same capacity, but overall footprint size is going to be smaller. Now, weight-wise, they're all going to be different. Even though like these two bottles and these two bottles, volume-wise, are going to be the same. Weight-wise, they are not the same. And so we'll go through and we'll weigh them all up so you guys can kind of see the difference. And then I'll compare some of the like sizes to a carbon fiber size so you can kind of see the difference between what you're getting on a lesser priced model than you do at a higher priced model, weight-wise and capacity-wise. So 13 cubic inch bottle is always going to be an aluminum bottle. You're not going to find this in a carbon fiber. So let's throw this on the old scale here. Sure, we're zeros. All right, so 13 cubic inch bottle, not even a pound, 14 3/4 ounces, which would be expected for something that's going to be that small. And I'm going to be blocking that if I leave it there, huh? So move it out of the way. So next one up would be the 20, was this the 26? Yeah, 26 cubic inch. And we go to almost a pound heavier right there. What did I say the other one was? So that's 110, and this is just 14. So 3 ounces shy of a pound heavier. And then going over to the 26, 1 pound 13, and the, wait, that was a 26. This is the 30.5. So 1 pound 10, 1 pound 13. It's only 3 ounces heavier to go up from the 26 cubic inch to the 30.5 cubic inch. And then moving over into the 48s, right? No, this is the 38. 38 is 2 pounds 7. And then going over to the 48, 2 pounds 12. So 5 ounce difference between those two, between a 48 and a 30, what did I say this was? A 38. So 10 cubic inches more, not that tremendous of a weight difference right there. Now going from the 38 to the 48. So we'll do the 48 standard bottle right there. So that's 2 pounds 12 ounces. And then the 48 Hero, so 3 pounds 1 ounce. So that's 5 ounces heavier to have the same exact size, but just a totally different shape. So if you want a smaller bottle, you're actually going to pay for it in weight right there. But let's take these two and compare them with a 45. So this bottle is slightly smaller in volume, yet will hold more air because it is a fill pressure of 4,500 PSI rather than 3,000 PSI. So let's just compare these two right here because they're roughly the same size. 2 pounds 12 ounces. And then with the carbon fiber setup, 2 pounds 3 ounces. So 9 ounces difference. That's more than half a pound right there. And you're going to get more shots, and it's lighter, and it's the same size. But again, money-wise, you're going to pay a tremendous amount more for this bottle than you were for this bottle. And this isn't even the lightest version that they make of these kind of bottles. You can get lighter ones of this as well. So it really comes down to where your budget is situated. And let's move to the 62 cubic inch. So 62 standard, 3 pounds, 3 ounces, and 62 Hero, showing it 3.3 for the other one, and then 3.7 for that one. So again, another 4 ounce difference, which was the same for the 48. So a 4 ounce difference, adding on a little bit of weight there, adding on 4 ounces of weight to go with the different shape, but to have it still be the same size. So bottle-wise, you kind of have to pick and choose how many shots you think you're going to need, how much weight you want to carry around, and just the overall length, I guess, of the tank setup to kind of fit your arm size and just your overall playability. Now, the regs that come on these are all, they're higher end reg. It's adjustable, has dual burst disc. It's got all the fancy stuff that you need. Plus, what I really like about them is the changeable positioning on there. If you take this piece and, let me see if I have one up here real quick. Kind of show you what I'm talking about. We might have done this in some other reg videos, but we'll do it again on this one just so you can see how this works. You take an Allen key and you put it into the top of the flange right here. You can actually unscrew the flange off the top. And when you get it up high enough, you can lift this collar up right here. So let's say you screw your tank in, and once it's screwed all the way in, you've got either the fill nipple or the gauge digging into your wrist as you're trying to hold your gun and shoot it. That's uncomfortable and nobody likes that. So what you can do is you back this up a little bit like you see it now. You can lift this collar up. You can see that it lifts up like this. And you can rotate this collar and then drop it back down. And it's got, I think, 7 or 8 different stops on it where you can rotate it and then it'll drop back in, rotate it, and it'll drop back in. And then you tighten this back down again, and that will change the stop or end position of the bottle. So you can change that 2 or 3 stops, and then next time you go to screw it in, you should end up with your either your fill nipple or your gauge, whichever one was digging into you, in a completely different position. Now that's really more for a comfort thing than it is a performance thing. I don't want anything digging into my arm while I'm playing. That's going to be uncomfortable. So the ability to change that stop position or the ending position really makes a world of difference. And that doesn't just come on their cheap bottle. They do that for their high-end bottle as well. So it's nice that they've taken some of the high-end aesthetics of their big, or I won't say their big reg, their high-end reg, and transfer that into their cheaper setups so that people can have the same fun, basically. That's a hard day to have that thing digging in your hand all day long. So the regs are adjustable as well. They do come with a little, I got one here somewhere. Comes with a little manual here, talks about it. And inside the manual, there should be a little shim set like this, which by either adding or subtracting shims from the reg, you can control the output pressure of it. So if you want a lower pressure one, you can do that. You want a high pressure one, you can do that. So that's kind of cool. So it gives you adjustability. It gives you the ability to kind of customize the setup on it, which, you know, the more things you can change, the more comfortable you are, the better your play is. So I definitely recommend doing that. But if you're trying to keep it on the cheap and you want to have options, Guerrilla is definitely, or First Strike is definitely laying them out there for you. All these bottles, 8 different sizes, all aluminum, so they are budget friendly. And you really just got to choose which one fits your play style and your needs. So check them out on the website, First Strike aluminum bottles. Order yours now through ansgear.com.